Good morning, everybody. It's 7:15 in Florida, and I just took myself a nice swim. Thanks to John Dobson, who would not stop with me constantly telling me I needed to get out, I needed to exercise daily, and I just kept resisting it and arguing with him. As I was going through some major depression, I didn't ever diagnose anything that I was going through as depression because of my upbringing. My father was a military fighter pilot hero in World War II, and he was tough as nails. He never believed in psychiatry or anything like that. When he got out of being a prisoner of war in 1945, August of 1945, and then he married my mother in January of 1946. The man was just a wonderful man, but alcohol started to just rot him, and he got more and more angry and furious. And he was pretty rough on me because I was the firstborn son. I'm not going to tell the stories about some of the things that he did to me, meaning well, but he refused to believe in Alcoholics Anonymous or any of the things that were developing during the late 40s and into the 1950s with Bill Wilson and others. And so we had to endure, myself, my older sister, Robin Rogers, who was in the class of 1965, who was also in John Dobson's class. We had to, in a very, very extremely small home, endure screaming between my two parents. But my father would never hit a woman, but boy, could he scream, and she didn't care, and she was in his face, pouring the fire that was in him with a little bit more gasoline. So it was not a very good model for getting to know and being successfully married. So having been through 3 marriages and then other relationships, John and I have had conversations about these things and respecting women and all of the above. He met a beautiful woman in Colombia, been married to her for over 25 years. And he would tell me all the wonderful things that she would do for him, and it was driving me nuts because I really didn't want to hear about how great things were and, how perfect things were and how I should really just model myself after him. I had my own problems. Then I reconnected with Steve Somerton, a wonderful guy who is still living in Darien, and they're trying to get together a big reunion, 1965 reunion, which will be 61 years this October 24th, apparently. Anyhow, I'd like to try to attend it as Robin's younger brother, and I'll just make up who I was in the class of 65. It doesn't matter at this point. I've been trying to get together some reunions anyhow, but I want to thank John for his encouragement, his constant on me. Get out, exercise, get out, exercise. I want to thank him for that. And that he bought one of my books, Rungle in the Jungle. He bought one book for $25, which was nice. I wanted to also really thank, some of you might know Bill Morrison. What an incredible man he is. Out of nowhere in 1970, let the brain work. In 2000 and I believe it was 2017, I turned 70, I think. I was born in 1948. It was suddenly 1949 the next day, or the day after. So do the math. 2017 was when we had our high school reunion. 67, our 50th in Darien. So right around a little bit after that, Bill showed up at my a birthday that was being celebrated, my 70th birthday in Sarasota, Florida. He had just moved to Nokomis. I don't know how he found out. Maybe I said something to him at our 50th. I don't know. But I didn't really know Bill. I grew up with him in elementary school in Hollow Tree and then played baseball. He remembered me, but he and his second wife, because his first wife passed away, his second wife, Kathy, came, and they were just so nice. They had moved to Nokomis, which is it's a section a little bit north of Venice, if anybody knows Florida. As you're going on 41, you're going to go through Venice and up towards Sarasota. So he's living in Nokomis, and he comes up to this party, which is in Sarasota, with some buddies of mine, guys I sing rock and roll with, smoking pineapples, and that's where we engaged. And a couple of times, I asked if I could come visit them in their home in Nokomis, and sure enough, Bill picked up that I didn't have any money, and he took me several times to the bus station and just hands me $20. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, don't worry about it, Logan. Well, about 3 months ago, where I live here in Clearwater, after we had a terrible flood, when Milton, the hurricane, hit, I just asked him and some other people. He just sent me $50. He just didn't even ask. He Zelled it right to me. And my cousin did the same thing that I'm going to talk about. No money, didn't need to be paid back, nothing. Well, when I really had a problem that developed when my car got towed, I called Bill up without a hesitation. Bam, $300 right into my account. I went, whoa, who is this guy? What an incredible man. And his wife said to me when I said, why is Bill so good like this? He goes, he loves to give to people and help people out. And he's helping you because he knew you. And I was like, wow, I need to thank him. I need to thank Bill Morrison. I need to thank Billy Ann Magnet for just being there whenever I call her trying to talk about, getting a reunion together. I remember not really knowing Billy Ann in high school at all, but I actually, when they bought the house that they owned near Paratree Point Beach, if anybody knows where she used to live, and she and Larry had started with a starter home on Edgerton, not too far from where I live. I didn't know how hard Larry worked and how friendly Larry was. He was always friendly to me. I couldn't believe it. These football players who thought I was a skinny runt from Middlesex, and I was part of the Getting in Trouble gang with guys like Creighton Drury, Bill Lord, Bruce Challenor, Kevin Marshall, John Oakey. Nobody liked us, so we became the rebels, and we started doing sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I never thought, Larry was just always nice to me, and it was just so nice. And I saw him at the 45th, and he was standing, actually, I was standing behind him, and I said, is that you, Larry? And he goes, is that you, Logan? And I still have kind of a blurred picture from that. And Billy said he was always friendly to everybody. What a sweet guy. Anyhow, that's a great memory. And my cousin Joe Carvin, out of nowhere, when he was trying to help me because he's an author and I've authored some children's books, he said, Logan, what do you need? And I said, I need about $1,200 to buy this car cash. Boom, $1,200 in my checking account. Whoa, Joe. He goes, don't worry about it, Logan. You don't have to pay it back. I go, what? He goes, it's a Christmas present. Then again, I got that car towed. I called him up. I said, Joe, what should I do? He goes, don't do anything. Don't fight it or anything. How much money do you need? I said, about $300. He sends me $4. Boom. Don't worry about it, Logan. Huh? Because I had influenced him and helped him when he was younger. Help protect him against his older brother, who was only 3 months older than me. But his older brother was always beating him up. And Joe and I became very, very, very close. We had parents, and my mother and his mother. My mother was his mother's younger sister, Mariana Logan, and Julie Logan. And this is kind of the story. And I'm going to try to wrap this up because it's almost 10 minutes and most people don't like to listen to anything this long. We live in a society where, come on, get to the point. Well, here's the point. I'm about to finish my book, Digging Ditches, because of Elaine, a woman that I have been seeing as a girlfriend and encouraged to stay the course, go through the issues that we've all been through in marriages, broken marriages, divorces. Some of us have been through this stuff and we're recovering Others have been successful long-term marriages. And why couldn't you stay married, Logan? What's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. Why did you lose all your money, Logan? Anyhow, you all know the routine. I just want to thank these people once more. Bill Morrison, John Dobson, Billy Ann Magnet, Joe Carvin, Elaine, we call her Elaine D., and I want my children to know what I've gone through and how they have ignored me. And I know that there are a lot of people our age. I'll be 78 in December. And here, do I look okay, kids? You know, I just jumped in the pool. And do I sound okay? A lot of people that have a lot of money are suffering from all kinds of things, and I don't have any money, and I'm not. I'm staying the course. I'm believing in my Father in heaven. I am believing that the Lord has called me. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High God, who abides in the shadow of the Almighty, shall say to the Lord, my refuge, my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. That's from Psalm 91. Learn the Psalms. And also my cousin James Carvin and his wife Lisa Carvin, who are working diligently and very, very hard to present how to actually memorize the Psalms. And apparently he told me that they have programs for young people who are memorizing the entire Bible as we know it. And they love it. It's like a game. It's great. Hey, bless all of you. Thank you for listening to me. And here's my Rungle in the Jungle song, because I wrote the book Rungle, R-U-N-G-L-E, Rungle in the Jungle. I met a man named Rungle. I met him in the jungle. The moon was bright. It was a Saturday night. I said, now, hey, everybody, let's rungle tonight. And we sang Rungle in the Jungle. It's a happy, happy tune. Bye-bye.